Alright, so this is Daniel Butler, aka DB Tuned AP1 turbocharged S2000. I believe the year is a 2003. Either way, it's a Honda S2000, and from the outside it looks 100% completely stock, aside from the tires, which the tires are Yokohama 8008s, but they're still stock size specs. And under the hood, you see it's got a little precision turbo on there, and what you can't see is the internals, which is it is a fully built block. I won't say fully built, it's not fully built, but it is piston rod sleeves and some valve train on there. So there's still other things that can get modified on it, but for the most part it's a built motor. The other thing on here, it has full Spoon Sports USA suspension and a bunch of other chassis upgrades from Spoon, and the rear diffs from Spoon as well. And for the electronics, the engine management is a Motec M1 30 ECU. So right now, car makes, at Church's Dynapack, it made 640, and driving on the street, obviously out here in Riverside, it's way different conditions than out there in Long Beach, but the traction control is activated on it, and with this street tire, it's pretty much activated in every single gear. So what I'm going to be fine tuning it just to kind of really dial in the traction control and let it slip some more. That way we can let the car kind of move freely and not have the traction control hold it back so much. So open up the laptop, start making some changes, go out, do some tests, do some pulls, and see how it is. Hopefully I don't disable the traction control fully, because definitely not trying to go sideways. I already experienced that in this car, and it's a fun drive. It's scary, but it's pretty fun. But I definitely don't want to go sideways on this. I've already experienced that in this car, so I'd rather not go sideways again. But I'll just do it in small increments and just do a couple back and forth test hits, and really just try to dial in the Motec traction control with these Yokohama 8008s. So let's go. Okay, so I just did a second gear pull and the traction control still kicked in pretty heavily. Obviously that's a good thing, because this car makes a lot of power, and definitely not trying to roast the tires, especially because it's not like a drag radial or anything. It's still just, it's a really good road race tire, if anything. But I'm just gonna adjust the slip some more, and then go out for some more testing and just keep going over and over and over until it's pretty much right where I want it. Just want it to be a controlled slip. So definitely don't want the traction control to hold the car back too much, but at the same time, we also don't want it to spin too much, if that makes sense. Oh yeah, we just want it to be controlled. That way, you know, if it slips a little bit, that's fine, and it's just gradually, it's just gaining momentum at all times. So I'm just doing second gear right now, and then from there, once I kind of dial that in, then I'll move on to the next gear. Next thing, just long procedure, and it's just a long time-consuming procedure, but this is what it takes to actually just dial in your car. So one thing is the dyno, the other thing is actually dialing it in for whether it's the street or the track. So let's go. So one thing I forgot to mention about this car, as you can see, it's really loud, but here's why it's a sleeper. Has a cutout. So sick. The little switch is right here by the start button, so see, quiet. I'll hold it at 4,000 RPM. Open it up. I may or may have not turned it on next to some people in Mexico already. Alright, so let's see, do some more pulls, and hopefully the traction control is a little better. Hopefully it lets it slip a little bit more, but nothing too crazy. the traction control activate. Obviously I'll look at the logs to see how much it was slipping, if any, but yeah, it seemed to pull all the way through. So let's do another third gear pull. Let's do a little brake boost action too. Stealth mode. Just like that, it's like, don't even know what car that sound came from. Alright, so yeah, let's head back to the shop. I'll review the logs, and hopefully by the time Daniel gets his car back, traction control is fully dialed in with the new Yokohama 8008s that I put on there for him, and he has no idea I even did that. So I'm gonna surprise him with a new fresh set of tires, and also the traction control dialed in on his Motec M1 ECU. Obviously he already had the traction control activated on there, but all I'm doing is just fine tuning it. So that way if he wants to get on it, you know, it's gonna be the power is going to be put to the ground as optimal as it can be for the type of tire he now has. And we already did the alignment as well too, so everything into consideration. This thing's moving. So I'll look at the logs when I'm not in the car, and if there's any other changes that I think need to get changed, I'll do that, and go surprise Daniel, go get the 11 gen back, and I'll show him the logs too, and if he thinks, you know, we could let it slip some more. It really just depends on how much he wants to really drive the car, to be honest. But those pulls right there, I think that's perfect. I mean, definitely don't want it to grip too hard, especially from a launch, because don't want to break an axle or anything on this. But I don't think he's launching the car yet. All right, time to go back to the shop. Alright, so I hope you guys enjoyed the segment with the S2000. Daniel's S2000 is such a sick build, and it's super sleeper that honestly, without showing you guys probably wouldn't even know what it has in there. So that thing's really fun to drive. But let's face it, why are you guys really here? Most of you guys are here mostly because of the 10 gen, and most importantly because the 11 gen. Which brings me to the 11 gen Civic Si. And where it's been, or what have we been doing? I know we haven't really posted much content about it, but that's just because we've been really busy. The team and I have been getting ready for the experience, which is May 7th at Famoso Dragstrip in Bakersfield, California. That's an import drag racing car show, two-step contest, music. It's hosted by Joanna Marie, aka PR Beauty, and it's presented by Honda. And there's gonna be a bunch more vendors there, and giveaways, and drag racing, like the shootouts between the A90 and the VR30s. There's also going to be some other classes which are going to be announced very, very soon. But aside from that, the 11 gen Civic Si, as you can see, I have Daniel's car, and well, guess what? He has my 11 gen. But gave him that just because, one, I wanted to have some fun with the S2000, and two, he's just been racking up some miles on that car, so we could get it one step further to what we really want to do here, which is build it. So aside from the experience event, we've also been busy with the Ososik eShop. Obviously right now we are in the conference room because there's some major renovations going on in the shop side, but we'll get to it when we get to it, and it's most likely gonna be in the next video, so stay tuned for that, because never even had a grand opening, and the team and I are very excited to share with you guys what we've been working on, and also finally have an official grand opening here to show you guys what the Ososik eShop is all about. But there's a major reason why we haven't been keeping you updated with the 11 gen, or let alone why we haven't been modifying it. I have not touched the car yet. It hasn't even done an oil change yet. All I've been doing is abusing it and prematuring the wear and tear on that car because I didn't do a proper break-in procedure. But that's fine, everything's gonna get swapped out anyways eventually in time. And the reason why I haven't put any mods in there yet is because what I've been doing with the Ososik eShop side, and we've been waiting on a few things to get finished up there before we start tearing up the 11th gen. So for now, I have several parts that have just been collecting dust, and as you can see, they are beside me. These are Sparco seat rails and mounts, brackets. So, yeah, for real, they won't say. All right, so these are the Sparco seat rails and mounting brackets. You can see here, they have to get fabricated, so I'm gonna be taking it to our partners over at P2 to fabricate for the brackets and sliders. And as for the seats go, huge shout out to Sparco USA. We have the QRT-R seat. It is like the vinyl material. It's in black, so it should match the 11 gen very, very well. And got the harness. I don't have it here, but it's gonna be a 4-point harness, or maybe 6-point, but it's still gonna be a daily driven car, so I might just keep it with the 4-point, or maybe just a stock location. But the reason why I'm gonna stay away from the stock seatbelt is because I actually have a roll bar that came from the 11 gen that I took out before we did the cage, and that will be in the 11 gen, hoping everything fits. If it doesn't fit, the guys over at P2 will make sure it fits. So that's what we're gonna do for the seats and the interior of the car, because the route of the car, which if you haven't guessed yet, I am going to do the time attack road course approach. So for the canyons, for just taking turns in general. Horsepower wise, I want more power, but nothing too crazy. Don't want to do what I did with the 10 gen, I think. As of right now, I'm not, because my next product that I got that's on standby is, a lot of you could probably guess, the Honda Flash Pro. So just picked this up, but there's something different about this one that most of you will probably be shocked that I'm actually doing this. But there's a very good reason behind it, and I'll share that with you right now. But as you can see, it is a blue Flash Pro. And the reason it's blue is because it's the carb legal version of the Honda Flash Pro, which means it is 50 state legal. And the tunes in here, I think I probably have 2 options. I have to double check the software, but whatever tune I put in here, it is carb legal, meaning I can't get harassed. Sure, I'll probably get pulled over, but this is my get out of a state ref ticket, or get out of having to put my car back to stock, or whatever. This means it is legal in California to drive with this tune on my 11 gen. Now, why am I doing a carb legal Flash Pro on my 11 gen when I'm kind of quote unquote limited? I am limited because with the carb Flash Pro and the tunes, you're not allowed to modify the tune like you could on the race Flash Pro. But here's how I look at it. Why do I need another race car? I already have the Drag Race 10 Gen, which is full-blown race car, pretty much. And I also have the W2 Civic 10 Gen, which is a track car / street car. I really don't need something else that goes above and beyond, you know, doing the built motor, etc., etc. Because for what I'm trying to do with this build, which is like the time attack road course stuff, it's not all about power. It's actually more so about driving and handling. So the Flash Pro carb legal, so the carb legal Flash Pro will give me that extra power, but it's not gonna push it over to the edge where I'm having to, you know, build a motor, change turbos, etc., etc. I could drive it to and from the track, not have to worry about getting harassed by the cops. I'm probably gonna get harassed just based off of the interior seats because they think it's modified, but then when I pop the hood, everything on it's stock, and then if they see the Flash Pro, it's a carb legal Flash Pro, it has an EO number and everything, so I'll be good. Obviously I'll have the wheels and tires and the brake kit, which I have some very exciting news about the brake kit and another company that's on board with the 11 Gen, but I can't share that yet. I'll share it in due time, but trust me, you guys do not want to miss this. I'm super excited to work with them, and I've worked with them in the past, but they've never actually been a part of a build that I've been building. So look forward to the parts that they're developing for it. Look forward to the parts that they already have to install it on the car. And most importantly, if they make some pretty hardcore race car parts, I might have to ditch this carb Flash Pro and go with the full race Flash Pro and turn the 11 gen into a mild race car as well. So we'll see. But for now, I think this will be just as much. I think this will do everything I needed to do for power wise. Because one thing a lot of people don't realize is the carb tune still makes really good power. Again, it just doesn't let you modify everything as you could with the race Flash Pro. So these new turbo cars, they make really good power and they respond really well to the tune. So I think it'll be fine, especially around taking turns and stuff with the tracks out here in California. So I'm more concerned about just obviously safety, but traction and comfortability and just making sure I can make the car handle as best of my ability and get some more seat time and really push myself as a driver at all these events or track days just to see how fast I can get the 11 gen around in a lap and compare it to the 10 gen W2 car. And then also when I feel I'm kind of maxed out, I usually run into a couple of friends and some drivers are better than me, so maybe let them hop in the car and see what they do, just to really see what the true potential is for the way the car sits. Because adding power, and I can add power whenever, and that's kind of like a band-aid, and that's kind of like cheating in a sense, right? It's you make up your lap time, you go fast, you get better lap times by making more power. Well, yeah, that's cool. You're only getting faster lap times because your car is just faster in the straight. But it would really, really suck to lose to a lower horsepower car because the driver's better at handling, or the car's just set up better at handling. So that's why I really want to just dial in the car as is with the current power with the Carb Flash Pro, and then just really see how much I can push myself for driving and see how fast I get these lap times. But still not on there. Again, none of this is on the 11 gen yet, just because I have some very exciting news and you guys are gonna have to wait. Be sure to watch the next video because you're not gonna want to miss it. Trust me, it's gonna be worth it and the wait is worth it. And meanwhile, me and the team will be getting ready for the experience. So if you haven't gotten your tickets, be sure to get it and use the discount codes that are available. If you're drag racing tickets are limited. And car show, if you're being judged in the judge car show section, you do have a chance to win real cash money. And then there are certain drag racing shootouts that have payouts. And if you're not trying to be competitive and you just want to show up and have your display your car or just want to spectate, be sure to stop by. It's gonna be a lot of fun. Last time it was out, I think it's safe to say we had the largest 10 gen group. So now it's open to much more. And you know, I'm really excited to see the whole Supra versus Q shootout. That's gonna be pretty sick. There's a lot of those guys already signing up, and that payout is $1,500 to the winner between any of those cars, and it's like a 16 car field, but the winner gets $1,500. So take it off the streets, go on the track, and if you guys are as fast as you say you can, you have a chance to win $1,500. So thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate you guys' support, and remember, life's so sick. Live it.